Welcome back to Body Harvest.
Hi, welcome back. Oh, so glowy.
Yes, this is a very bright, colorful game, almost agonizingly so. There's some technobabble about that status beacon that we saved at, but I'll save it for when I've memorized it, because it's a very long passage.
Oh no.
Yeah, we need to do some reconnaissance, but lives are being lost as we speak. So I'm gonna rush over to the Harvest Wave first.
No time to talk to these monks.
We're going to a very bizarre village to start things off.
Can't be any weirder than Trumptonus.
Trumptonus. How I will miss thee. They do a good job not reusing areas. Like, this entire stage is going to occur in new areas that we haven't seen previously. Which is kind of odd for an open world game.
It's also kind of odd for an N64 game, because everything looks the same anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to be an issue throughout most of the levels. They're all very visually samey. But the defining aspect of this town here, you may have noticed, is that there's huge hills on either side of it. They have no geological purpose whatsoever.
Except, I suppose, to be very tall and good for sheep.
They are imposing and generally masculine, I guess.
Sure.
And very dangerous. So let's see this bridge that they speak of. Surely it's essential to the growth of this town.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's their only link to the main... What? Why would you build it there, Periconis Village?
Yep, that's the bridge. It connects one bizarre, inexplicable mound to another bizarre, inexplicable mound.
Alright, fine, you know? I'm not a civic planner.
For many a year, I've been baffled by this town.
Wait a second.
Because it seems like, yeah, this should serve a purpose. I'm certain of it, but it simply doesn't.
You can drive directly from one town to the other.
Yep. It's all Periconis. This is all one town. You never have to take the bridge. It's there for no reason whatsoever. It's probably a joke on Rockstar's part. That or the whole 3D development world was so untested at this point that they just didn't even understand not to do completely logical things. Hard to say.
Maybe they wanted to show off the vistas.
Something like that. The vistas that you can't even see because the draw distance is too short.
Yeah, but I mean, if there wasn't a draw distance, imagine how nice the vistas would look.
It would truly be breathtaking.
I mean, you know, this right here... I tell you, the view over Lothric Castle in Dark Souls 3 would have nothing on the view from this bridge.
Oh, we've snatched ourselves a nice bulldog. It's a classy military vehicle. We had access to one in the previous stage, but I didn't get it there.
I didn't realize that the military had weaponized cube vans.
Yeah, it's awkwardly shaped. It's probably based off a real military vehicle.
Probably a Russian one.
I'd believe it. It's probably very anachronistic, as the Panzerkampfwagen was. Someone in the thread mentioned that it is from it's a 1936 German design.
Oh, well then.
We're in 1916.
Yeah.
And, for the record, Greece.
Ooh.
We backtracked to that monastery we spoke of.
What an ominous face.
He's a bit of a creep, but we should surely trust him. Let's see what passage he was reading to the congregation.
This isn't a monastery, this is the Chamber of Commerce.
Yep. Now, go to the library, is all it says. Apparently they're Gnostics because they do have the iconic comet stained glass windows.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Surprisingly authentic.
No pagans here in Greece, though. So we just turn the corner on the building, and there's another door to the library.
Completely inaccessible from the chapel.
Yep, every building in this world is ridiculously inefficient. But it is indeed very informative. Seems like this light of tallow sauce is going to be important in some way.
Yeah, I smell a gatekeeping puzzle.
Mm-hmm. More of the town guide. It's going to ground the light of Talos' myth in reality.
I thought you said there were no pagans.
Well, touche. And the Sun Shield. This is a legend that we should definitely pay attention to.
Wow, that's crazy, actually. Normally you have to wait until Dungeon 7 to get the Mirror Shield.
Yeah, no kidding. And of course, this game did beat Ocarina of Time to shelves by a couple of months. Actually, a month. And another door. This door is pointless, so I'm going to show off a ridiculous Easter egg that this game has. Awesome.
So awesome!
Yeah, if you hold the fire button while you open a door, Adam action rolls in.
Oh, that is so cool!
Yeah, it's another level of ridiculous attention to detail. One of those billions of unnecessary ideas that Body Harvest is drowning in.
I'd like to be able to enter rooms like that in my everyday life.
Technically, nothing is stopping you from dive rolling in and brandishing a gun.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Nothing except for my stunning lack of athleticism and highly developed sense of social shame.
Plus, you're not technically American, so it is a bit of a faux pas to wave a gun around in public.
Wait! Not technically!
You're North American.
Always trying to bring us Canadians into the fold, huh?
Yep, you're being adopted.
Aw, that's so nice. I'm gonna buy a cheeseburger and go to Vegas.
Oh, who could blame you?
Yay!
Those little robots are piloted by tiny little aliens called fleas.
So cute.
Yep. They suicide bomb you. So the legend spoke of the Summit of Light, which is apparently to the north. Oddly, though, it says that the Summit of Light is where the statues and the Flame of Talos are, and we're going to find that that is not the case as we actually go to the Summit of Light. There's a new alien creature here based off of mantises. Didn't get a good look at them because we just gunned them down with a bulldog, which is crazily powerful.
I'm pretty sure I saw rocket launcher arms.
Yeah, basically. I mean, really, it's more of a crazy space gun, but some kind of projectile.
I like the descriptor, crazy space gun.
Bye-bye, truck.
Oh, so long, friend.
Yep. Was threatened by the aliens.
You backed up faster than a Russian dash cam video.
The weird thing is, there's no one in that car.
It's a ghost car.
Yeah, it's a crazy ghost car. Everything's crazy in this world, trust me.
It's the truck of Telosis.
Yeah, it's because vehicles cannot occupy the same space as aliens as they spawn in. So if we park a vehicle where an alien is going to spawn in, our vehicle will also fly out of the way.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, sometimes it'll fly right into the water. And we find ourselves in a cave full of corpses. Horrifying.
Oh, dear.
Ticklish corpses. God, I love this game.
That's pretty funny.
This repeats the passage that we read back at the monastery about the light of Telosis.
That's cool. An Olympic torch run.
Almost left the skeleton untickled there.
You can't do that.
Now they did. This is the sun shield here. It is no longer a object of legend. It's now an object of our own. But they left it there in the darkness because it's so reflective that it burns anything it reflects. And then we lit a bunch of lights around it.
Oh.
And we're not injured. I guess we're the lucky one.
That's probably ill-considered.
I'm leaving the bulldog behind because it can't make that jump there. And this is a bit of a shortcut back to the town that we need to get to. Here's the ghost truck. It's ours now.
Wow. A shield of legend, a ghost truck,
An almost dead civilian.
corpse armpit sweat on our fingers. That's a good day.
The best day. Oh, and here's another Panzerkampf wagon. So, just jack that. That's an upgrade.
Sure, why not?
Because it's a fucking trap.
Oh no!
It's got no gas, and the second we jump in, it gets surrounded by aliens. I guess the aliens put it here to trick us.
They're way smarter than I thought.
Yep. But once we blast all the aliens, which is very easy because we got a ridiculously powerful machine gun, we did pick up fuel throughout the game so far, usually in barrels of water, which is odd. But we can use that to fuel up our tank.
Hey!
Yeah. Not a trap anymore.
Oh, that really backfired on those alien bugs.
Yeah, no kidding. And one of them spawned down the hill or something. He couldn't hit us. I couldn't even find him, so he gets to live and be ineffective forever.
Poor guy. Till he steals someone's baby.
That's for the Australia level.
Alright.
It's a good thing we rescued this tank because we already come to a dead end. These are those statues that are supposedly hollow. And their doors were closed by gods or something. The text so far in this level has been very inconsistent. Nonetheless, we are at a locked door. Now, how are we going to open this damn door?
Oh, you need to give him an iced cream.
That's a thought.
Look, he's like, my cone is empty, and the other guy's like, neener neener. My cone's not.
You nailed it, actually.
Oh man, who'd have thought?
Yeah. We do got to use our sun shield, though.
Don't burn his bottom!
My bad. There we go, thrilling stuff. Light the torch and gain passage.
You solved it!
Yep. Very simple puzzle that nonetheless took me a very long time the first time I played this game.
Well, it's because it predated Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, exactly.
We hadn't been trained yet.
That's my excuse. Almost missed a skeleton here. I heard from someone whose uncle works at Nintendo that if you tickle all the skeletons in the right order, you can, I don't know, play as Luigi or some shit.
Oh, that's awesome. I'd love to turn all of the Panzerkampf wagons into Yoshis.
That'd be worth it. It's too bad Nintendo de-licensed this game.
Oh, wait a minute! I just had a giant flash of recognition.
Oh yeah?
I just suddenly, there's something so familiar about burning bugs with a fire beam.
Were you a sociopathic kid who used the magnifying glass to kill ants?
That's neither here nor there. I think I know this game now.
Nice. This is the kind of epiphany that usually takes an hour to discover.
I guess it was just the mirror shield that clued me in.
Yeah, the shield is one of my most best remembered parts of the game. Certainly one of my favorite parts of the game.
It's just so bonkers.
Oh, the mirror shield was mind-blowing back when I first got this game.
Jeez, feels like coming home again.
That's pretty incredible.
Oh, here's a World War I era tank.
Yeah, crocodile. Although the actual crocodile looks very different from this, I assume this is not what the crocodile is in real life. Could be wrong.
I thought it was an aquatic reptile, but Xerxes Military Depot.
Yeah, not Xerxes, because we all know when Xerxes came to Greece, terrible things happened.
Yeah, you got beat like a little punk.
No kidding. Now, the problem with the crocodile is that its mortar is incredibly powerful and pushes the vehicle way, way backwards, almost off a cliff into the ocean. And unlike the animal it is named after, it is not amphibious.
Oh, wow. So that means that Rockstar, as I will call them,
Can't blame you.
has been modeling tanks going faster when you fire them backwards for ages then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to use that to your benefit in this game, but you can certainly use it to your detriment. I almost did.
It's a trap as opposed to a launchable tank like in Vice City.
Yeah. The thing is that you can't turn the cannon around. So you can increase your speed while going backwards, but you can't steer anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you gotta line it up just right.
Yeah. Not a good trade-off. Bit of pointless history about this pointless town that we're in. It's another ridiculously low population area.
Well, everyone else thinks it's pointless too. That's why there's only 14 people.
Mm-hmm. It's too bad. They talked about how there used to be, like, taverns and all sorts of fun shit here. Now there's only one openable building, and everyone else has boarded up their doors for some reason.
All 14 people live in this one building. Well, it's just adding insult to injury.
Yeah, I did come here for a reason, and it wasn't to show off that I can actually blow up houses with this car.
But it's good to know, I suppose.
Yep. It actually has no drawback. It just pushes all the people inside the house into the street. And then they just go on living their day-to-day lives. But that does make them more vulnerable to bugs. And there's the bugs I was waiting for.
Oh. Ah, yes. Hello. Hello, friends.
Yeah. This is a harvester wave that is inevitable. It will show up eventually, and I wanted that not to happen while I was a million miles away. Now, the problem is this gun's crosshairs, for some reason, are not accurate. Every other gun in the game, if you've got your crosshairs on something and you pull the trigger, it hits. Not this gun.
Yeah, I can see that you're about a foot above their heads.
Yeah. I don't get it. This one is poorly programmed, but it did one-hit kill the harvester, so it did its job.
Yeah, what more could you ask for?
Exactly.
Nothing, because you're a reasonable man.
And this vehicle's other gimmick is that it can go pretty much straight over all the hills in the game. But other than that, it can't hit the broadside of a barn, so who needs it? Look at that.
Doesn't matter though, because those treads can hit the broadside of a bug.
And use our sun shield to finish off the remainders. Love that sun shield.
Are we authorized?
I hope so. Otherwise, we'll be shot.
Oh, man. If we get shot, I'm gonna be very, I suppose curious to see how you're gonna get out of this predicament, is what I'll be. Hey, it's the Greek flag!
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it had just recently come into use in Greece at this time period, so it is technically accurate.
Oh, that's a very good point.
Now, it did say trespassers will be shot, though.
Uh-oh.
So what the hell's this guy doing here? He's getting shot, that's what.
I don't think it's fair for you to assume that he's not authorized.
Well, I shot him anyway. He was trespassing.
Guy with a gun says you're trespassing, you're trespassing. What's up, pal?
This is a sort of familiar building layout. It's basically identical to Jonathan Mackenzie's house.
Oh, so it is.
In more ways than one.
Gosh, I must have seen a buddy play the second part of Grease. Because I remember the howitzer too, or maybe I read about it in Nintendo Power. This is infuriating.
Anything's possible.
Maybe I played it and repressed it.
Entirely possible. Most people remember playing this game because it takes so many hours to get any progress. So they end up seeing the same thing over and over and over again for a very long time.
You're gonna completely, blow some minds once we get out of Greece. They're gonna be like, holy crap, there's an Arkansas level? Whatever. Holy jeez!
Yeah, the howitzer is a thing of beauty.
That is not how howitzers work!
Yeah, it's a little too powerful, in fact, so I tend to switch the weapon to the pistol and just use that for defense until I get to the intended use of the howitzer.
That's great. You're tooling around in this heavy artillery, just leaning out the window with your gun.
Yep. And we don't get to explore very much. I'll just park this here where it's safe.
It's not sliding, is it?
Oh, it's sliding.
Oh dear.
There's another one-hit kill bug that suicide bombs you like the fleas do.
Oh, those little jerks.
Yeah. I forget what they're called. I'm certain I'll know it soon enough, though. They're very prevalent throughout the game.
I'm gonna call them missile skeetos.
I like that. That's probably much better than what they're actually called.
I'm trying pretty hard not to pun, based on our conversation from before.
But they're so popular in Let's Plays.
Oh gosh! Stop punning,
No
please.
one will watch this if you don't pun.
Yeah, that's right. I guess we'll We'll ponder to the lowest common denominator. But if this is gonna work, you gotta pretend to be really offended by them and be like, It's the perfect dynamic for Let's Plays.
Damn.
Ooh, I hate his neckerchief.
It really doesn't suit him.
Oh, it's too thin, man. It's too thin.
Luckily, we won't have to see him very much more.
Yep.
It's got nothing for us, except a mission. More information on these weird little pointless areas.
Oh, that's, I guess I can appreciate that note on civic engineering.
Yeah. It does make it pretty unfortunate that the Watergate is broken.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And pretty irresponsible of the Watergate operator to allow it to be broken in this dire time of alien attacks.
Typical video games, man. They have a fully plotted out irrigation system, but no toilets in the houses.
Yeah, one thing I do adore about this game is that the timing is so horrible for Adam. Like, everything that he needs to do is impeded 100 ways to Sunday.
How did Greece continue to exist long enough to produce a world in which there could be space marines?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Like, every human in this game is incredibly stupid. It gets to the point where I feel like Rockstar is trying to do a meta commentary about how the world is not worth saving. And then they made the game irresponsibly difficult so that no one ends up saving the world anyway. Wow. Just my personal theory from 2 decades of wasting my time on this game.
You know that, not to put too fine a point on it, I think certainly holds water. Yes! Action roll with the shield!
Yep, had to show off that you can do that with every weapon in the game.
And he does the gun
Even
pointy
ridiculous
fingers.
There's no other reason to go in that building, so figured I'd give it some panache. Nor this building.
No panache, though.
There we go. Just take a lap.
So if you're playing along, there's some barrels there. You know, if you need to get your hands wet.
Yep, which it does refill your health. Normally I would need that because I would get beaten up by aliens a whole lot.
But thanks to the sun shield, you've been having kind of an improbably easy time.
Yeah, no kidding. The sun shield, as far as I know, is the best weapon in the game. I haven't gotten far enough in the game to confirm that, but to the best of my knowledge, nothing beats the sun shield.
Anything better is probably going to use ammo, so...
Yeah. Yeah, Daisy just lied to us. We're not actually close enough to the edge of the cliff to hit the wreckage. The wreckage that was mentioned in that military guy's mission statement to us.
That wasn't wreckage, that was a whole mountain.
Yeah, we just need to blow up the entire landscape of Greece. One last shot to be sure. Because I fired like 5 shots over that ridge, and then gone over there, and it's still been blocked. And then I had to go back.
Oh, jeez.
It's real annoying. Because it's cluster bombs, and you can't actually control them. They're just random.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, sometimes they clear the whole thing in one shot. Usually not, though. This whole area is very awkwardly laid out because you can't get from one village to the next without swimming.
Yeah, that seems strange that there isn't another, like, Sun God bridge.
Yeah, although if you remember, the statues were not physically connected in any way. That bridge was, like, ethereal.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Very bizarre.
Maybe the magic ran out.
Something like that. That's why it requires gods to close the bridge. So this is a neat little area. I do quite like the actually spinning windmill.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's a neat little detail back in the day. And the miller.
He's got a good face.
The miller's a dick, though. He's got a dick's face. Look at how smug he is with his tiny little mouth.
He's just trying to warn you not to touch the millstone like a big dummy.
What's the worst that could happen? We could have gotten our hands crushed off, but...
Yeah, you know. I mean, maybe if that's not a problem for you, I guess go for it.
But he did give us a bunch of hints. He's being harried by the bug invasion, and he's also worried about how the sails on his windmill are just about to fall off.
Oh, Adam.
We're gonna give him a little hand.
Come on, man.
Not gonna make it easy, though.
As if life wasn't hard enough.
Screw you, Miller.
Oh, jeez. That is stone cold.
That 2 seconds there was mind-blowing the first time I played this game. It took me hours to figure that out, and when I finally did figure it out, it was so satisfying. Because this was slightly before Ocarina of Time, so changing terrain in a 3D game was just unheard of. Even that tiny little bit.
Oh, what?
It sent the miller into a rage.
A rage followed by a fit of deep depression. He's like, I don't even care anymore.
And he's just gonna let the world starve now. He's pretty much the least stupid person in all of Greece right now.
Yeah, I'm pro Miller.
Well, you've taken your side, I've taken mine. I'm pro Watergate operator.
Ah, jeez.
We'll call him Nixon.
Sure. And I stand with Mr. Millipopoulos. 100 drachmas?
Yep.
It's like a whole dollar.
Yeah, thereabouts. It was the actual currency at the time.
It sure was before they got on the euro, and that made people regret having a euro.
The machine gun is slightly less effective than the sun shield, but gets the job done at the cost of ammunition.
It just seems like a crying shame that you can't lean out the window with a sun shield.
Oh, no kidding. That would be the best. Yeah, the only annoying thing about the sun shield is that when you have it equipped and then you get in a vehicle, it switches to the machine gun. And I don't always want to use the machine gun, so I have to switch to a different gun. And the only thing that's annoying about that is because it's a Nintendo 64 controller, and weapon changing is on the D-pad.
Oh.
Yeah, so you have to switch your hand position to change weapons.
Yeah, what were they thinking?
Yeah, maybe the worst controller design of all time. But you get used to it.
I mean, you had to. We didn't know any better.
Yep. I mean, PlayStation owners knew better, but I wasn't one of them.
PlayStation owners with their Crash Bandicoot. This is a jaunty boat.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tugboat.
Alien bugfish.
Yeah, a new type of alien. The aquatic sort that fires missiles at us. They might be called piranhas. I'm just going to call them piranhas for now until I look up the name.
Sure, we'll go with it.
Who's gonna argue? I know more about this game than most people.
Yeah, there you go. Hear that, viewers? If you argue, you're chumps. I will come to your house personally and tell you off.
Hey, we got to play with the fireplace for a second. That's interesting.
That was cozy.
Yeah.
And a dungeon.
Like a bug and a mug and a hug.
Oh! You had your own little inferno.
There's a complicated lock system. Door that doesn't open until you fuck with some water.
Actually, that's really weird.
There I just wanted to increase the light level and I accidentally opened a secret door.
Wow, you're like Sean Connery in Last Crusade.
Weapon crystals. We picked up one at a cave that was near Jonathan Mackenzie's house.
Right.
That makes it our second pickup of the weapon crystals. A third one unlocks a unique alien weapon.
Cool.
Yeah, specific to the level that we get it in. So, look forward to that, because it'll be a short while before we get that third crystal.
I wish games still did that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a really cool unlockable, actually.
Achievements that do things, that's nice.
Yep. Once they started calling them achievements, they stopped having a purpose.
You just get the little Skinner box blip blip, and that's the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
No sweet costumes.
But we did get locked in this building, this tiny secret room, and we heard the tragic tale of Le Chateau.
Well, at least you got something to pass the time. Wait, what?
Yeah, we tickled his corpse and it opened the door.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's not much of a puzzle when it's solved by doing the thing that you were going to do anyway, which is tickle the skeleton.
If you have any soul.
Seriously. But yeah, that's what passes for a puzzle in the dungeons of Body Harvest.
So hold on a second. If Le Chateau starved to death, shirtless, in this cellar here, couldn't he have tickled himself to get out?
You would think his log spoke of a secret that he will hide with his own corpse. So apparently he found the exit and died on top of it, knowingly. And that was his revenge on anyone else who would ever come into the room? I don't get Le Chateau's plan.
That's a good point.
But regardless, he was keeping eternal guard on an alien artifact, our first alien artifact, which is the other collectible in this game. I don't know what it does because that one doesn't do anything until you've collected every single one in the game. So that's going to be one hell of an undertaking. Hopefully I can figure out how to do that.
Well, I gotta say, I'll be very impressed.
Yep. And here's those statues we lit earlier.
Oh, right through the Pillars of Hercules, or Telosis.
They don't use any actual copyrighted myths. That's what we'll call them, I guess. They should be in the public domain, though.
Yeah, you just wait until Hermes comes down and serves you with a writ.
So even our mighty sun shield cannot injure the processor here from the back. It's got protective wings and a shield that keeps us from getting too close.
But what are we gonna do?
If we can't hurt the processor, it can't hurt us, so it's a fair game.
Oh. Yeah, okay, that's fine then.
Yep, but the inverse is also true. If we can hurt it, it can hurt us. But more action rolls will save us.
Yeah, it can sure try to hurt us.
Yeah, it fires very slowly, and we've got a strafe roll, which is very useful here.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's another thing that I wasn't aware of until I reread the manual like 100 times. Normally I would just brute force this boss, and the sun shield is so powerful that you can damage race him and still win.
Ironically, it can't block.
Yep. Real shame. And if you don't set foot in the right part of the arena, then those snipers around the outside of the arena don't spawn in, and then it's just you and the boss.
Oh!
It's a pretty easy fight.
What an interesting little exploit.
It's a pretty easy fight regardless. Once again, processor's the easiest part of the level.
Sure. This one didn't seem to have quite as much, frantic running around and saving people.
Yeah, it wasn't as much of a comedy of errors as the last level was.
Bit more of a puzzle stage, less of a plate spinning exercise.
Which is why it took me a million forevers to get through it the first time.
Right.
And in my practice attempt, before recording this video, I took the howitzer out to the ramp that you have to fire it off of to unlock the windmill. And I spawned in a bunch of aliens. I tried to fight them, and I accidentally backed off the cliff into the river, destroying the howitzer in the process.
Oh, no.
That means you cannot open the pathway to the windmill, and the level becomes impossible to complete.
That hurts.
Yeah. And it doesn't end the game. Like, you can still wander around and try to figure out how to complete the level, as I did many times in my youth, but it's not an option.
Damn it, it's like King's Quest.
Yep.
It's awful.
So this game is brutally unforgiving, but we made it through.
Good episode.
And I will see you in the next stage.